Season 2, Episode 8 of Undercover Billionaire with Grant Cardone, and it went terrible for Grant this episode. Let's dive into it. Hey guys, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is William Dauria. I'm a real estate investor like Grant Cardone. I buy commercial property, multifamily, and single-family homes. I buy them, I renovate them, I rent them out, and I live off the passive income, therefore allowing me to buy more rental properties, which creates more money, which buys more rental properties. You get the idea. So if you guys want to learn how to do the same, be sure to subscribe. Now, day 46, this is when Grant's talking about his real estate and his promo company priorities. And at this point, none of the barbershop investors have called him back. That was the 10 people that he pitched at the barbershop and was like, hey guys, I need your money. Well, you know, you're not obviously like that, but hey guys, you know, I've got this opportunity, like this apartment complex, right? And I just need $200,000, right? I know that sounds like a lot to a non-entrepreneur, guys. $200,000 in real estate is a small amount, but he was like, hey guys, pitch in something, let's go, let's see what you can do. And then he accidentally insulted him by calling them something like Slowpo, Pueblo, something like, anyways, made them upset and ultimately didn't get a call back from anybody at the barbershop at all, which was a little bit surprising to me. I thought maybe somebody would kind of maybe reach out for some additional information, but so far he's got nothing as of this day, and that is not a good sign. But there is worse news coming up. So the apartment broker called and there's no more news. Everything's still pending, of course, right? It's been pending forever. It's like, I don't know how long this has been going on, for like a week now, or 10 days, or 2 weeks, or it just keeps going and going and going and going and going, and like, there's no more news on this apartment deal. Like, what is going on? I will say this, investing into real estate and dealing with agents can be very frustrating because everything in this industry is painfully slow, and that's my opinion, but that is what I've noticed as well. Okay, but what he's gonna do right now, he's going to focus on the promo company because realistically, you have one offer out there and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, if the seller wants it, he'll take the money. If he doesn't, then he'll counter you or something, you would think. But in the meantime, it's like, my hands are in the air. I can't do anything for maybe till tomorrow, maybe the next day, maybe a week from now, but there's nothing I can do. But I do have another business. I need to focus on this other business, and the apartment thing will hopefully kind of work itself out. We shall see. So he meets up with Matt and his new marketing team. Now, Matt is the owner of the gym and the mattress company, and his new promo team is specifically for the mattress company, only the mattress company. And it's two young girls, I don't know, maybe 21 years old, give or take, whatever, right? They're real young and possibly know a lot about, you know, online and social media and stuff like that, because that's what they're really trying to push, except for Grant wants to get in and he says, I want to be cheesy. I want to get in and I want people to remember my name. I want to push them hard and I want omnipresence, baby. I want to get out there and I want to be everywhere. I want to be on Instagram. I want to be on Facebook. I want to be on YouTube. I want to be on Snapchat. I want to be in your face. And also, when you Google, you know, mattress company, you know, Pueblo, and you Google all this stuff, I want to be on the page. How do we get there? And how do we make our social media presence more abundant? Now, I'm going to back up a little bit and pause because I want to talk about YouTube real quick, because the way that YouTube works, and this is on a social media platform as well, okay? YouTube is owned by Google, so whatever you put into YouTube and there's a Google search, it'll automatically link you to that video, like a mattress company or a gym in that city, for instance. But here's the thing, guys. A lot of these companies, they'll make one video, or in this case, 6 videos, right? And they think, yeah, we got 6 videos on YouTube, right, guys? I have almost at this time right now, I have almost 100 videos on YouTube, and I love making these videos, guys. And I have like 363 loyal subscribers, like right now as of this video. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. It takes time to build a following. It takes time for people to even realize who you are. And even if they realize who you are, they don't even know your personality. They don't even know if you like you. So here's what I'm trying to say, guys, and this is what Grant says as well. We need to be making multiple videos per week and not stop. Like, don't be like, I made 2 videos or 3 videos this week. We're good. Like, do it every single week and do not stop. And that's what the marketing team is there, not only to help with the mattress company, but to branch out and get other contracts from other companies in this city in order to push his valuation to $1 million. And we get some really bad news and some good news as well in this episode. And not just marketing, but he wants to focus on marketing, sales, promotion. He wants to buy Google ads. He wants to buy Facebook ads, possibly buy YouTube ads as well. He wants to be out there and not just get the mattress company's name out there, but his client's name to begin with. So not only is he helping the Matt, the owner of the mattress company, out now, but he's also practicing on what he's about to pitch the clients to do the same thing. And this is the first time in this entire project of 46 days that he now has somebody that he can say, I've done this for this person. Look how I've helped this person. For now, for the very first time, he has a track record. And let me tell you what, guys, when someone is pitching something to you and they want to sell you something, what do you care about? Is what kind of track record do you have? Because you're not buying a product, guys. You're buying a service. Show me what kind of service you can provide. And up to this point, he had nothing to show. Now he can actually show with an example, which will immediately help him out in the future. And then Grant also said this. He said, if you want to scale, use every promotional tool you have to promote, even if it's not in the area. Because if you're not blasting it out everywhere, guys, even to be past your area where you may not even get these customers out here, you're going to be missing people because you didn't shotgun the entire area in the first place. He's saying basically become omnipresent, shotgun it everywhere. Yeah, it's going to hit some places that doesn't really matter. It's not going to get any business, but it's also going to make sure that you blanket the area to maximize your potential. And at the end of this day, he's talking about how he misses his kids, his wife, his life. Basically the same thing we would all basically say after 46 days away from everything. And he ends the day by saying, success is the fuel that drives him. Day 47, be obsessed or be average. He also says, be like a hungry dog attached to the back of a meat truck. See, he says, being successful is a full-time job. He says it like this. He says, there are no vacations, there are no weekends, there are no breaks. Guys, when I was in my 20s, I'm 35 now. When I was in my 20s, I worked 6 days a week and I averaged about 60 hours per week as well. That averaged out to 10 hours a day, building a business from zero to becoming the largest sport bike dealers in North Texas. And I sold it all, I got into real estate, and it was the best thing I ever did. But if I wouldn't have hustled my butt off and did what others didn't want to do, I wouldn't be here where I am today. And I actually made a goal not to go on any more vacations. I was done with vacations. I went hustle, grind, and now I can reward myself by working 7 days a week. And by doing this, I'm going to reward myself one day, possibly by the end of this year, if I can complete X amount of real estate transactions, which I have a personal goal set myself. I will reward myself by buying me a new airplane. And I will use that airplane to fly charity missions for kids with cancer and to fly dogs to their new homes from kill shelters. Okay, so moving on, day 48. This is the day it takes a big turn, guys. Grant meets with the promo team. Okay, and this is the promo team that Matt has and hired, okay? And he basically shows up and says, all right, guys, lay it out. Let's see what we're doing here. And it's basically talking about how social media needs to be on point for what they are doing. Now, this isn't his company. He's talking about their company. He's basically saying if they don't know you, they can't flow you, okay? And that basically means if you're not known, you're not going to make the business. You're not going to make the transactions that you could if people just knew your name. Think about it like this. Are the products on Amazon that you're buying the absolute best products? Or are they just in front of your face and you see and you say, I like those headphones? You might actually like some headphones that are even cheaper that you don't even know about. But because they're in front of your face, they're on Amazon, you typed in Bluetooth headphones and they popped right up. Those are the ones that you buy because it's in front of your face and they made themselves known. Even if there are better headphones out there somewhere, The ones you see are the ones that you buy because they're a better known product, not necessarily a better product. And then Grant's phone rings. Like he's about to get into this and start telling everybody, this is the way we need to do it, right? And his phone rings, right? And his entire demeanor changed, right? Because this is what the person on the other line said. And it was the agent for the apartment deal. And do you think he countered them? No. Do you think he denied him? No. What do you think he did? He sold it to somebody else without even a counteroffer. He said another group, get this, right? Get this. Another group came in, made a lower offer than Grant's, and the seller accepted the lower offer. And you know what's crazy? I just made an offer myself on an apartment complex less than a month ago, and they took an offer $30,000 less than my all cash, no contingency offer. True story, guys. I don't know why. Why as a seller would you take less money for the same thing? I don't even understand. There wasn't even a finance contingency. I don't get it, right? Grant said money is not always the object. Now what that means is maybe they said, hey, his closing date was where I wanted to be, or he can pay me with Bitcoin, for instance, or whatever, right? It's not always the highest offer that makes it, even if it doesn't make sense to you and I, but it's not always the monetary. Sometimes it's the whole package, for better or worse, or whatever the seller is really looking for. They might want a closing date that's further out, not necessarily I can close in 2 weeks. They might want close in 3 months because they got some stuff to do in the meantime, or they're still living there. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you have to look at why they're selling it, and you have to play back off of that, okay? So this is what happened in this case to Grant. The agent told Grant that Grant came back to him, or Louis Curtis came back and was offering the seller to accept his $9 million offer by noon the next day. Okay, this was obviously days ago before he got the phone call, but he was saying, days ago, I need to know something by noon the next day. And that put too much pressure on the seller, and the seller says, hey, I don't want to be pressured to sell this thing for $1 million less than I'm asking in the first place. So you know what? I don't want to mess with this guy because he's already putting pressure on me. I don't want pressure. I'm already considering maybe not, I don't know. And that pressure just honestly kind of pissed him off probably, right? So, and here's the other problem with it. Put yourself in the seller's shoes. Say you had an apartment complex you were selling for $10 million. Somebody offered you $9 million, right? And you're thinking about it. You're like, I might accept that with a little bit of time, right? I mean, think about it. Like if a month went by and you had no other offers, you might take the 9, or you'd be more considered to take something closer to it, right? But if somebody said 9 right now, you have by noon tomorrow, you might be like, you know what? I don't want to do business with this guy at all. And that's exactly what happened in this case, unfortunately for Grant, because Grant then came back and said, after he penciled out the numbers, he lost a potential $3 million profit on this deal alone. Okay, so day 51, he wants to focus on car dealers with his promotion business, because this is the way that Grant actually made his first $1 million, was promoting his business to car dealerships. He's basically saying like this, hey, I want to take care of your social media. I want to make 5,000 phone calls for you every single month. I'm going to call people back. I'm going to do what you won't and can't do for you. I'm going to take care of all this for an X amount of dollars per month. And obviously, if you put in $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month, but return they're getting $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 in additional sales that they weren't seeing, it's worth it. You and I would pay that if we can double our sales, because we're getting more than we're putting into it, and we're also handing it off to somebody else that's doing all the work for us. Okay, so he goes in and he talks to this local car dealer, right? And the dealer was telling Grant that he is currently spending $100,000 in promotional activity, right? And Grant's like, whoa, hey, what other budget do you have on this? And the guy's like, I'm tapped out, dude. I'm already spending 100 grand. Like, I'm not spending any more money, right? And a lot of people would be like, oh, well, darn, I can't get that, right? And Grant's like, okay, whoa. If you're already spending $100,000, okay, I will take the same 100,000 and I will get paid out of the same 100,000. Basically, by undercutting somebody else you're working with, right? Say you have another person in the marketing team that you're already paying, say, $3,000 a month, right? I will do his job plus more for the same pace, trying to basically take his job over, right? Unfortunately, this guy, he was a small town car dealer. He didn't want anything to do with it, and he was like, I think we're good. We don't need anybody, right? And Grant pretty much got turned down flat. And on the way home, he's driving. He's like, man, where's my next paycheck coming from? He was actually talking about the struggles that the everyday American actually goes through. He is actually feeling it himself because he doesn't know where he's going to basically get his next paycheck. If you don't get your paycheck, over time, then you eventually can't eat. And then if you can't eat, and you can't afford your place, you eventually end up homeless. And, he's like, hey, I need to get out from this rut. I'm starting from scratch, and I'm still at scratch basically, right? Like, I haven't really built up much. He gets a little bit of momentum, and then he gets the sail knocked out of him, right? And he gets a little wind in his sails, and then gets knocked back out of him. But he does say this: he's looking for 10 to 20 clients for the promotional business, because the apartment business, that's dead, guys. That apartment deal is done, and they probably won't be talking about it anymore. We are stuck on that promotional business, which is unfortunate because majority of millionaires in the United States are millionaires because they have multiple sources of income, and that helps you attain a net worth of 7 figures or above. One flow of income is very, very difficult to do that. If something happens to that flow, you're cut off. It's one water hose, you get no more water, you die of dehydration. You have no more funds coming in. You have no other business to pick up the slack of another business. If the economy on this one business gets crapped out, your other business can at least support it. You have to have multiple sources of income, and he just lost his potential other source of income. But he says he wants 15 to 20 promo businesses that are paying between $5,000 and $20,000 per month in order to obtain his $1 million valuation that he wants and needs, because if he doesn't get it, he himself is going to put in $1 million of his own money as a bet. And he ends the day by saying, you must be willing to fail in order to succeed. Okay, the very last day of this episode is day 56. And he actually shows up to another client for his promotional business, but this time, it's actually one of Matt's friends. Matt's the owner of the gym and the mattress company, right? It's one of Matt's friends, and he happens to own one of the biggest mortgage companies in that city. And he sits down with the owner and he's like, look, we not only want to talk about the company, but we want to promote it by telling stories, make social media for you, create marketing, and we'll do this on a weekly basis every week for you for the entire year. And then Grant says this: we will do everything for you for just $5,000 a month, which in turn is $60,000 per year. Here's the contract. I need you to sign this here, right? And the owner's like looking at it, right? And he's like, yeah, I don't know. And Grant's like, okay, let me tell you something. All right, how much money did you make last year, right? Kind of be like, hey, if you made $1 million, I can make it, on average, maybe 15% more than that, all right? And the guy's like, Grant's like, how much did you make last year? The guy laughed. He's like, man, I'm not telling you how much I made. He goes, well, you told the IRS how much you made. And I thought that was kind of funny, right? Of course, he may have told him, maybe, possibly, if the cameras weren't there, but that's like, super, public information by that point, right? So he's basically trying to talk him into it, and you can tell he's interested because he's basically saying, like, yeah, I want to do it, but I don't really know how much I want to spend and whatnot. And then they start to talk, and because he's Matt's friend, he was able to kind of make this deal work. And then bam, guys, just like that, he landed his first contract worth not $5,000, guys, but $60,000, because that's what's on paper and that's what's getting paid, and that is what counts in the valuation, guys. Not just in the 90 days, but in the valuation of the contracts that you have signed. So in the 90 days, if you can get X amount of contracts signed to show that you have a $1 million business, that will make your $1 million valuation. Guys, thanks so much for listening all the way through. Once again, I do this on every single episode. If you like this content, consider smashing the like button. Subscribe, because I make several videos about real estate investing for passive income per week. And until next time, I will see you on the next one.